Is this on now? It's on. Every single one of my students knows that if you let me keep talking, I will not stop talking. So I scripted this. I will do this for every concert ever. So, without further ado, welcome to the SDMS and SDHS Winter Concert. We're very excited to have you here today. We have lots of wonderful performances lined up. We do ask that you silence your cell phone, just so there's not like somebody's like dance party music going off while we're in the middle of the song. And also wait to leave or enter the auditorium until we're between songs, just to limit some distractions for the kids that are up here. On stage right now is the SDMS Cadet Band. It is made up of 6th and 7th graders. So they are in their first and second year playing their instruments. They are doing fantastic. They sound wonderful. If anyone was at the Halloween concert, they sound even better. So let's see. Our first tune today is titled BB Christmas. We speculated in class that the BB stands for, and we decided that it meant best band. Really, it means beginning band, but we like best band better. So I hope you enjoy Best Band Christmas. Is it still on? I think I forgot to turn this off. I'll remember to turn it off next time. Did you like that? I think it was wonderful. I also really hope you like Jolly Old St. Nicholas, because you are going to hear it again in our next tune, and again in our last tune, and maybe again in our concert band music. So, our next tune is Christmas Surprise. This arrangement includes Jingle Bells, Jolly Old St. Nicholas, and Symphony Number 94 by Joseph Haydn, aka his Surprise Symphony. See if you can figure out what the surprise is. think it's on again. Were you surprised? Maybe a little bit. If you can't tell, I'm a bit of a cheese ball, and I like to make my bands sing. I didn't actually pick that on purpose. I just found it and went, oh yeah, and it also has a choir section. So, our final piece for the cadet band portion is Santa's Toy Shop. Santa's Toy Shop paints a vivid picture of a very busy holiday scene as Santa's elves are hard at work making gifts to have ready for delivery. All the hustle and bustle you'd expect are vividly showcased by the percussion section, who you'll see up here at the front of this stage for once. Okay. Percussion, go ahead and move. Santa's Toy Shop. We are going to do a quick little band change, so bear with us for a moment while we swap over to our concert band. this just a little bit longer. We're gonna warm up our 8th graders real quick. It'll take all of 2 minutes. And now we're ready. Alright. On stage right now is the SDMS concert band, made up of 7th and 8th graders. This is our middle school's top performing band, and they've definitely earned that title. Our first tune for you is Celtic Christmas. This piece combines traditional holiday tunes from some of the Celtic countries, such as Ireland and Wales, including tunes such as Wexford Carol and Deck the Halls. I hope you enjoy. So every fall, we have auditions for several honor ensembles that students go and audition for, and then if they score high enough, then they make the band. First are our Valley Honor Band members. Valley Honor Band is an auditioned ensemble of students from Augusta County, Waynesboro City, and Stanton City. The following students earned spots in this year's Valley Honor Band. Stand when you hear your name. Emily Higgins, second chair oboe. Riley Holland, 21st chair clarinet. Aria Simmons, 22nd chair clarinet. Savannah Wheeler, 6th chair clarinet. Joseph Phillips, 3rd chair alto saxophone. Boone Jagger, 2nd chair trumpet. Asher Vi, 3rd chair French horn. Avery Peters, 2nd alternate trombone. Tiberius Bartosh, 4th chair trombone. And Lily Melton, 2nd chair mallet. Next are our District 5 Honor Band members. District Band is an auditioned ensemble like Valley Honor Band, but students come to audition from Augusta County, Rockbridge County, Bath County, Highland County, Rockingham County, and Page County, as well as all of the cities within those. The following students earned spots in this year's District 5 Honor Band. Aria Simmons, 21st chair clarinet. Logan Sample, 6th chair tuba. Noah Huffman, 2nd chair string bass. Lila Page Hughes, 1st chair string bass, and Lily Melton, 1st chair mallet. I have to get a different sheet of paper. My wind chimes. Up next is Christmas Around the World. This piece combines traditional carols from England, France, Spain, China, and the United States. You'll hear several holiday songs that you might hear on the radio every December, as well as some you may not have heard before. Listen for our several soloists in this piece. This is Christmas Around the World. ensemble swap, maybe 2 more. We have a fun little surprise. We are combining our middle school and high school for a tune. Fair warning, if you are not a fan of the Christmas radio classic All I Want for Christmas Is You by the one and only Mariah Carey, you should leave now. Okay? Give us just a second.
I'm Mr. Andrew Fulber, the high school band director here at Stuarts High School, and without any further delay, this is the SDMS concert and SDHS concert combined band. Yeah. Behind me is the SDHS Advanced Band. In order to make the transitions move as quickly as possible, because if you couldn't tell, we've got about 1,000 moving pieces up here this evening. To make the transitions go as quickly as possible, we're going to the Advanced Band portion of our concert next. They have one piece for you all. The band you see behind me is made up of only our Advanced Band class members and a couple of other upperclassmen that I roped in to play on this piece. The piece they are playing is entitled Midnight Sleighride. I've been screwing up the name every day, but I got it right. Midnight Sleighride, and it's based off of a story, which is based off of a book, which is based off of a movie, about a lieutenant who's escaping a military encampment. He escapes on Christmas Eve at midnight and rides away into the snow on a sled. You'll hear both the joy as he escapes the camp initially. You will hear a quick section as he stumbles back into a enemy camp on his way out. And then at the very end of the piece, you will hear him ride peacefully into the snow, into the darkness. And I hope you enjoy it. This is Midnight Sleighride. they quickly transition for the final time this evening to our full SDHS concert band, I wanted to go ahead and talk about our next piece real quickly. That way, as soon as they are set, we will move right on with our high school portion of our concert. The next piece that you're going to hear them play, full band, is Leroy Anderson's Sleighride. This is the one that you'll recognize from the radio. Every year that we have an opportunity to do this piece, which is not every year because this is not an easy piece of music. When you're driving in your car and you hear it, you're listening to it, and you're singing along, not a big deal because you don't have to push buttons and go through the 4 or 5 different keys that Leroy Anderson wrote. But they do, and they hate me for it, but it's good for them. We're going to talk this evening as we go through the high school portion about why a piece of music makes it on a concert. And with the high school portion, every single piece of music makes it on the concert for one of 4 groups of people. It's either for you all, the audience, to enjoy, it's for the students to enjoy playing, it satisfies all those itches, or the last category of it's for me for educational purposes. This one is a unique piece that scratches all those pieces. They have fun playing it for the most part. You will have fun listening to it, and I certainly have fun putting it together. I do want to make one note that is, this is not an arrangement, it is not watered down, this is the exact piece of music that gets handed to the United States' own Marine Band to play for the President every year at Christmas. And they are doing a fantastic job for it. So as soon as they are set up and we take one quick tuning pitch, I hope you'll enjoy Leroy Anderson's Sleighride. SDHS concert band. Our next piece of music this evening is entitled Cold White. This is a unique piece of music. I've never performed it, and as of about the middle of October, I had never even heard it. This piece of music is composed entirely by one of our own students, and I'll recognize him at the end, but I'd like to go ahead and recognize him now. Mr. Tyler Kirby, would you please stand up? A budding young composer, and he came to me back during marching band season with a ton of questions about how I write the marching band show, which I appreciate. And then he asked for the files so he could look at what I did and manipulate them and play around with them. And then he said, what if I wrote a piece for the winter concert? And in my head, I laughed. And out loud, I said, good for you, buddy. You write me one. If it's good enough, we will play it. He comes back in a couple of weeks later and lays down an opening movement that put me to shame. I attempted to be a composition major in high school and could not have written anything like what Mr. Kirby wrote. It's a hard piece of music. By Voboda's standards, if it was graded, which it won't be, but if it was to be graded and published and all that good stuff, it would definitely be a grade 6, which is the hardest level of music that we can give a high school group. It is exposed, it is hard, and it is difficult, and they are doing a fantastic job with it. I wanted to read a little bit of the next thing I asked him to do was write some program notes. I meant to go with the piece of music, and so I would have a little bit to talk about what he said, but I told him very personally up front, hey, just so you know, I cannot read all of your program notes. So, he wrote me 4.5 paragraphs, but one of them is so daggone good, I gotta read it for you. So, Cold White is a uniquely composed multi-movement piece that forcefully embeds Christmas into a piece of music that portrays the anguish and suffering of those who resided in those camps. The camps he's referring to are the Auschwitz concentration camps. In those camps, there was a group of young Jewish female musicians that were put together at the order of the German SS guards to put together a weekly concert every Sunday. They would practice for up to 10 hours a day so that every Sunday they could put on a concert for the officers. And of course, at Christmas time, they had to play Christmas music. The juxtaposition of Jewish folks in a concentration camp, Jewish prisoners in a concentration camp, learning Christmas music to play for a holiday that they don't celebrate is what initially attracted Kirby to this idea. I wanted the idea of the Holocaust Christmas played by the Women's Orchestra to be expressed in the first movement of the piece while slowly transitioning to the general idea of a piece being solely about the Holocaust itself, with a rock feel arrangement of Carol of the Bells, which brings us to the next two movements. The second movement is an arrangement of Barbra Streisand's Avinu Malkeinu, good luck to me, I hope I did well, which is written in a way to convey the impact of the Jewish ethnicity and their hope and spirit that was present during those times. The third and final movement is a chaotic vision of despair with brief musical quotes from Carol of the Bells and Dance Macabre by Camille Saint-Saëns hidden in the music itself. With a plethora of different Christmas tunes and chorales, I wanted to make it sound artificially happy and forced by adding distinct characteristics that would make any given audience member uncomfortable while listening to it. I promise they are not playing wrong notes. There are moments that are meant to feel uncomfy, so just embrace the uncomfiness, I promise. The name Cold White is very simplistic in its nature and is defined as the purest of white light, which I use to represent the purity and innocence of all the unfortunate souls of the Holocaust, while also holding a double meaning of describing the frigid winter in which the tragedy took place. I hope you will enjoy Tyler Kirby's piece, Cold White. It is multi-movement, so at some point you will see my conducting hand with the baton. It'll stay up, my other hand will drop, and that's when we're transitioning movements. The piece isn't quite done yet. I hope you'll enjoy Cold White. If it wasn't a holiday concert, we would have ended with it, but that's no way to walk out of here and go celebrate your Christmas. So let's dial it back up the Christmas spirit. One more round of applause for Mr. Tyler Kirby. Next, we're going to play an interesting piece of music for you all. This is Twas the Night Before Christmas, the traditional Christmas story, the book. In the midst of the narration, you will hear musical whimsicalness that fits the telling of the story. And to tell our lovely story, I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. Gordon Roberts. Mr. Gordon Roberts is in our math department here, but he has a long storied history as a middle school band director and a military serviceman. So would you please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Gordon Roberts.
creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop with coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of an eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying a finger at the side of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
As we transition to our ballad this evening, I'd like to tell a little story about this one that is popular with a lot of folks. It's a quick story, I promise, I won't talk that long. Silent Night had a really miraculous thing happen with its use back in World War II. In World War II, trench warfare was the main type of fighting that was going on in the European theater. In these two trenches on Christmas Day, normally the shelling would begin as soon as sunrise came up and wouldn't conclude until after the sun had gone down, and sometimes after. On Christmas morning, the sun came up and nothing happened. And both sides were kind of going, what do we do? And then one side started singing. And they were singing the hymn, Silent Night. To them, it was Stille Nacht in German. Then the Allies, well, not the Allies, but the other side, started singing Silent Night. And they actually came out and completed the hymn singing together and had a delightful Christmas dinner. We will not talk about December 26th, but on December 25th, Silent Night helped bridge literally a world war. Our arrangement of Silent Night is a wonderful setting. It is put together with the Eric Satie classic Gymnopedie No. 1, which is French Impressionist, and I think it's very fitting that a German hymn be put together with French Impressionist music on a piece that brought two sides together in World War I. So I hope you'll enjoy Silent Night with Gymnopedie No. 1. quickly as we transition to our next piece of music, which is a Charlie Brown Christmas. I think you'll find that you know every single tune in that Charlie Brown piece. 4 wonderful tunes, written and arranged by Vince Gouraldi, the famous jazz pianist, and they're all the ones that you hear on the radio. So I think you really will enjoy a Charlie Brown Christmas. If you've ever seen the TV special, or gosh, if you turn your radio on at all this time of year, you're bound to hear at least one of them. Before we move on to Charlie Brown Christmas, I would like to also recognize our folks that made honor bands. In an effort not to leave any of them off, they are all printed on your program with a little mark beside their name. And I am not nearly as coordinated as Miss Allen, in case you didn't see the baton fly out of my hand in the last piece. And so what I would like to do is recognize those students, but in an effort to not forget anybody's name, I'm just going to have them stand up. So if you would give them a round of applause. All of our high school students that made Valley Honor Band, please stand and be recognized. Thank you all so much. Now, if you made District Honor Band, which again is the same groups that Miss Allen was talking about, significantly more competitive, not that Valley is no task, 5 high schools from the county and 2 from the cities make it quite difficult. But at the district level, it's even more competitive. If you made either band at districts, would you please stand up? At the high school level, there are 2 bands at the district level, one concert band and symphonic band. Symphonic band has a smaller instrumentation and is even more challenging to get into. If you made symphonic band, would you please remain standing and be recognized? And then finally, we have on occasion some students that really excel in their section. At this time, would Maddie Melton and Nicole Saxall please remain standing, the rest of you remain seated. These 2 individuals, not only did they make district, not only did they make symphonic band, they are the best player on their instrument in the entire district, making first chair. Nicole Saxall on flute and piccolo, actually, and Maddie Melton on oboe. Please give them a round of applause. We hope you will enjoy a Charlie Brown Christmas. you all so much for sticking with us through this longer concert. We are on to our last piece, and before we do that, I would be remiss if I didn't thank a couple of groups. First, this is a thank you not only from me, but from the students that are seated behind me. They understand, at least I hope so at this point, that there are a lot of pieces and moving parts to this puzzle that come into place today to make this concert happen. So the first people we would like to thank, first off, families. We would like to thank you all for driving them to rehearsal, picking them up for rehearsal, paying for not cheap instruments, and or the damages that are incurred to those. So would every single student that is in this auditorium please applaud and thank your families. Next, if everybody would join me in thanking the SDHS and SDMS staff, both Miss Allen, Mr. Roberts, my colleagues here, Miss Glidewell, Miss Bussey, and any other SDHS or SDMS staff that has helped put on this program. Would you please give them a round of applause? I'm 32 years old, and sometimes I still need some help. I would like to offer a quick thank you to my parents for picking up the lovely poinsettias at the front of the stage. And before you give them a round of applause, which you absolutely should because they're wonderful people, the poinsettias on the stage are free to the families of our senior high school students. So the families of the senior students that are on stage, please feel free to take a poinsettia at the end. Please thank my folks for getting those poinsettias for us. And last but not least, I would like to thank all of the admin here, both at SDHS, SDMS, but at Augusta County as a whole. There are some events in Augusta County that were not able to happen today or this morning, but I got a phone call bright and early this morning at 7:45 that said, we will do everything in our power to make sure you can still have your concert this afternoon. So I would like to thank all admin at SDHS, SDMS, and Augusta County Central Office for allowing us to have this concert today. Thank you all. Our last piece is a really fun one. It is an incredibly well-composed piece of music, very impressive. It's called Deck the Halls with Old Composers. I think in your program I might even type dead composers because that's actually technically more accurate. They're not old at this point. They're very much dead. We're talking about classical composers from the Romantic and Classical period. The really cool thing about this piece is you are not going to hear a single harmony or a single bass line. What you're going to hear is a ton of classical melodies slammed together with Christmas melodies to make bass lines, harmonies, melodies, counter melodies. The only thing you're hearing though is melodies all throughout it. So it's really cool because every single instrument is important at every single individual moment. I gave the students the challenge of finding all the classical motifs in this piece, and I counted myself because I thought they might take me up on it. It is 27 in basically a 2-minute long piece. You're going to hear 27 pieces of classical music as well as Christmas music. I hope you all have enjoyed the SDMS and SDHS Band Winter Concert. Our last piece this evening is entitled Deck the Halls with Old and or Dead Composers. Thank you all so much.
And her mama. You like it? Like the retirement?
It's good to see you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It was a great concert.
It was a really good concert.
Thank you guys for coming. Been there. Angie.
Yeah, I got to.
Did you see my 16?
Oh, yeah?
Going to the hall tonight. You know where we are, daughter? My grandma.
You come with me?
I'm walking out to the hallway.
Is it good? It's okay.
So we can do it up here phone first.
Oh, yeah, I'm tired.
Come out here.
And then what's... Okay. Okay. No basketball for her.
Yeah, he would.
Each kid is different. Yeah, just right. Washington.
No, he's retired.
I was surprised.
Yeah, we're living with him, actually.